Hello everyone, in this video we'll see MathJax Crash course. The content of this video series is this. First we'll install and we'll see some inline formulas, Greek letters, superscripts, grouping, parentheses, radicals, special functions, symbols, spaces, accent, escapes, and so on. There will be 15 sections in this video, so we'll start one by one. We'll start from the installation. Actually, let me say just some quick intro about the MathJax. MathJax is a JavaScript library. We have seen in browsers this kind of mathematics appearing in the browser. With normal keyboard, we cannot achieve these kind of symbols, this kind of f of x divided by symbol, this special symbols, gammas like this. So what they do is they come up with a new JavaScript library which can which is encode which is decode the some sort of scripting, and it can interpret as these kind of symbols in the web page. So let's start with the installation of it. I'm creating a plain HTML file, and I'm creating a head tag and a body tag. Inside of it, we just set it as a character set and meta character viewport, and we'll give some titles. For MathJax provide two options. You can integrate with the server, or you can use a public CDN. If you want to integrate with your own version, their server integration is there. You have to download all the MathJax packages and it's installed on your server, or else you can go with the some public CDN like JS Deliver is there. There are a lot of sites provides this MathJax for free, so you can just include that script as a sync delivery, and you have to make one polyfill JS. Polyfill JS is for modern ES script 6, ECME script 6 library, in order to make your browser as a fully featured and latest browser. It includes some features, so this is necessary if you are using older version of like IE6 or IE5, those kind of browsers. This polyfill JS is required, but it's optional. If you're using latest browser like Chrome or Firefox, that's not required. And once you have added those two, you can just start to type. Here I have some demo paragraph code of written in the body tag, and I have some script setup. This script setup is not always required, but if you need any customization in the text, LaTeX or SVG or any other customization if you require, you might need this script setup. Dollar stands for the, here I'm declaring as an inline setup. Inline setup, it's nothing but the starting character and ending character with the array of arrays. You have to write here. I have written, I've used the slash and open round brace syntax. So I have used as a double slash in order to escape this slash, and it's rendered in this output window. Let me just click this run button, and here the beautiful math syntax is rendered. So this is how you have to set up the setup and installation. It's just 2 lines. You no need of this by default. If you want to rendering, you can just give this syntax and run this. Even though you don't have script setup, also by default syntax, the slash and round brace will work. Okay, here I have triggered the zoom trigger setup. You can right click on this code and you can set up as a zoom MathJax settings, and zoom trigger is there. If you are clicking, it will zoom out this as a pop-up or a text box. Okay, these are all SVG file. SVG stands for scalable vector graphics. These are all those kind of vector graphics included. That if you want to go with this server integration, you can go on check this out. You have to install in your server. with the node package manager npm install, and you have to use which version of it. MathJax 3 is the latest version, and you can install this and you can get started. And you have to give your server URL in the source instead of like this. You have to give your HTTPS, your own domain.com, and slash the path of this main JS. Here I have used a text and MML CHTML syntax. There are a lot of varieties are there with this JS, but you can go with this standard text format. There is LaTeX format is there. There is one more video in this text, text, what is LaTeX and all. You can just watch that video to get a good understanding of this, what is text and LaTeX and all. Okay, now let's get started of live demo. Here where we have some samples. Modern day browsers in like an educational website or some coding websites, you may come across these kind of beautiful mathematics in the web pages. This is all about how to achieve this in our custom web page. Here is already you have this JSBin web page. We'll see how do we write this syntax like /a and these kind of not equals and all in this code. For that, it supports varieties of functions, various commands like these kind of slashes, open brace, close brace. You can write any equations and all. It's very super simple, and it's all in the CHTML. Like it's common HTML, and you can use render mode as SVG also, but you have to customize that. That's it. Okay, now let me move to the live demo. This is a text box. Here I'm entering some characters. At the moment I enter here, the preview will be shown in the below text below box here. It will be rendered. Okay, let me get started. I'm starting with the inline. There are a lot of delimiters are there. Delimiters are like this line is there. In order to identify the syntax by your MathJax scripts, you're giving some special kind of notations to recognize in the whole string or in the paragraph. This is called the delimiters. The delimiters are literally like dollar and double dollar, or you can use slash this one. Let me just highlight this double dollar and this kind of $4, or you can use this one, and you can use this square braces also. In some ASCII mathematics it supports this kind of symbol, and this one as a delimiter. When you want to actually use that, you have to configure in your this script function. Inline mathematics, what it is, you have to just configure this one for text. Okay, now let's move on to the session. I told you that the delimiter here stands for, in order to recognize, I'm using this starting and ending $1. Just click the space and this dollar disappears. This is identified as a delimiter in this text box, and it's rendered here. Here I'm typing hello world. Here the space not rendered. I'll by the end of the video you will learn everything, but here as of now space is not there. I'll tell you the reason. The reason is whatever it's there in this syntax, it's a different kind of code. The normal working code or a normal space and all will not work in this text box, or whatever this phrases or whatever syntax in this within this double dollars. So you have seen this is for just for inline. I'm just typing this. You can use this dollar, but you can see this kind of this font is changed in this preview text box. The same thing you can use this dollar slash and let me just scroll to this. Here also this syntax also is working, and I'm giving $. It's justified and center to it. It's for a separate line. We'll use this $. Syntax. But when you don't have anything, it will treat it as a normal text. You can just see, just this is a normal font that's in this web page. This is nowhere related to MathJax. Okay, now one more is this square brace. So the square brace also, it's highlighted. We'll move to how it look like any formulas written in this one. It will literally look like this kind of beautiful formulas will appear. This is for is writing as a separate formula in a new line where $. Is getting used. You just click on this, you can zoom it up and see this MathJax. This is a common HTML I'm using. You can use even a SVG also. That's whichever your displayed mode is, that will be helpful for you. Okay, now let's get started with the Greek letters. We have our syllabus. We completed this declaration of installation and inline formulas, and we'll see this next Greek letter, super subscript, and grouping. In the next session, we move back to the IDE. Okay, Greek letters. You may have seen alpha, gamma, beta in any chemistry book, or their mathematics books will be there. So what you do is you have to literally like slash syntax in order to make it as identifies the MathJax syntax. Alpha, the alpha symbol comes here. It's an alpha symbol, and likewise you can type beta, like gamma, and so on. You can type even omega. There are a lot of the continuous symbol is highlighted. You can not only this kind of Greek letters, you can type Latin letters also that it's supposed to come. I don't know this entire Greek letters, but I just know how some of the characters that's used in our chemistry book, like pi, epsilon, and var pi, we can use. In order to give us a space between these characters, you can just type a slash. There is a space appears in this. You can just give a slash, but it's not collapsed with this slash. It's not a continuous two slash. There is a space between this slash, so you can give a space. Okay, now you can see it's beautifully aligned, and there is a space in between them. Okay, now the Greek letters are over. Next, move on to the subscript and superscript. Subscript is, you know this, if there is a letter like X, and underneath that there will be something like there is a log and log A. Here some B numbers will be written. So how do we achieve this in MathJax is you can just write a subscript syntax as an underscore symbol for log. It's expecting to be a subscript or superscript in this alignment. So there I'm typing A, and for superscript you have to use this up arrow and you have to type this one. Here you can see this log A and X. Here this underscore is literally stands for the subscript. Here it is coming as below this normal line, and super is stands for the upper line. Here we have this X on the top of this log, above this log, so we can use this. For example, I'm using like 10, but you can see here this is misspelled. It's supposed to come as log 10, but it is wrong. So what I need to write is it's grouping. It comes later on this course, but you can know that prior and prior. Here it comes as log10. This is the correct syntax. Likewise, you can give for the superscript also, like I'm giving for this kind of numbers. Yeah, when you're giving a group of characters, you have to give it in the curly braces so that all will be considered belongs to a subscript, and these all will be considered as belongs to superscript. Okay, this next thing is actually this grouping. So you can you already know this curly braces stands for. I'll type some more examples for this one. We will type like x power y power z power a, like this. How do we achieve this in MathJax? Is you can just type x, and that's power y, and out of I have to write z on top of it. I'll write z. Now you can notice this change. X, Y, Z, it's getting, the font size is getting reduced in this one. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this whole string as my base, and Z is the superscript. It's like a power. If you want, even if you want a small number, you can get still more one more brace, and you can type A. Now you can notice it's this somewhat smaller, but you can hope you can recognize this line is somewhat lesser, somewhat lower. Horizontally, vertically it is higher in this when compared to this A and Z. Okay, this is what the superscript grouping is. And so for one more example, I can type like it's there will be there xi2 in max books. So how do we do this is x underscore I should come here, and I have to type 2 arrow and 2. This is we can see more frequently in our mathematics books. This is what grouping is. Next we will see the parentheses. There are a lot of parentheses you come across, like there is a curly brace, this is a kind of parenthesis, a round brace you will come, and this kind of square braces like array braces it will come. So these all are parentheses. So what's the use of this kind of parenthesis when we use this? We know this. Here you have this example. You'll type this kind of round braces here, and for advanced one, I'm typing as a fraction. In fraction, I'm typing as a numerator and denominator. But this is not that much big. When you compare this one, it should come as somewhat larger. For example, I'm typing is a square root, sqrt and x. Here you can notice like it's not covered up to the this line here. So what I'm doing is I needed just a big parenthesis, like from top to bottom, so that it can cover. What I'm doing is I'm going to use right or left in this one. So I'm using left and right. Yeah, now we achieved a big round brace surrounded for this equations. This kind of parentheses are there. You can utilize it for the mathematical formulas. Curly brace and this kind of round braces you can make use of it. And there are a lot of parentheses are there. This is just one of the parentheses. You can there is something like ceiling and flooring is there. Here we'll use like there is an x. I'll write here. there is an x. We will write this kind of modulos, and there's an x. We'll write this kind of ceiling, and we'll write like a flooring like this, and there is an x. We'll just draw a vertical line, and we will write 5 or 10, this kind of limits in this one. So these kind of things and all will comes under parentheses. We can use any parenthesis like this. So okay, now move to the MathJax. We can see this one as a x. What I'm doing is I'm using hyphen vert. There is one line is appearing. I'm using capital V. There is 2 lines appearing, and the same thing you can use after this one also. This kind of modulos kind of x, we will use it. And you can use like kind of angles, seals also. Angles meant for like there is an x, and we will use these kind of angles. This is R angle and L angle. Let me just give an overview of it. Like a seal we'll use here, L seal, uh, and here R seal we'll use, and for flooring we'll use L floor and R floor. We'll achieve this one, and the R angle also, it's like L angle and R angle. There is a lot of varieties of parameters are there. You can use this. Okay, now for limiting that is you can use words. It's literally like you can make yourself like this. There is an x square and there is an r word. From word you can use a 3 to 5, it's there, and this is all normal numbers. You know this already. And the expected is this line, and r word and r word is on right side vertical line, and 3 to 5 you have to write. That's it for limiting. And the next one is sums and integrals. Parenthesis also done. Next, sum and integrals. You know this summation some many times. Even first time I'm seeing, I've shown some of the symbols like summation I to 0 to infinity I square, like that. You can use any summations like with just writing line. You can use sum, will be rendered as sum. Let me just introduce those formulas. Sum, like for our product you can use prod, pi symbol will appear, and you can use int as integral. You know this integration symbol. For two integrals, double integral will come like this kind of two integral symbol. You can use, I think, three i's, 3 to 4, 4 is the maximum. Okay, 4 integrals you can use. Here double integrals, and there is a cup symbols. You can see like big cups, this kind of U, and opposite of it is the flipped one is cap. You can make use of this one, and let me just type one summation is literally like this is the most frequently used, this kind of summation, and inside of the summation you have to give what's the subscript. The subscript formula is there, and The superscript, you have to give the infinity. INTFY is the infinity symbol. You can remove this and you can just check infinity inf ty. That's it. Infinity symbol will appear. Next is fractions. Fractions, we just now we have typed. We have to use frac. In frac, we have to use a, b. First letter what it is and second letter what it is. That's matter. So there all not be always like one letter will be there. There will be like you can see here one first two characters are taken as a first as a numerator and second is taken as a denominator. So in order to do as a grouping characters, you have to give the braces. First you can give and second also you can give it in the curly brace so that it will both will appear as a fraction format. Like in normal one you can use a plus 1 or b plus 1. It will be rendered as a fraction. This one you can give over function also. That also will work. There are c frac is there. That also will work. You can just give slash over. There is a frac. Inside of it, it should supposed to use a cfrac. I think it's not working. So continuous cfrac stands for continued fractions. So that's not working in this one. Okay, that's fine. We move on to the fonts, but the normal fraction is just simple. You have to just declare it as a frac and you have to give the numerator and denominator. Then fonts is like there are a lot of fonts MathJax will provide. You can use those fonts. It's namely starts with math and you have to give what the font name is. That if for example I'm giving blackboard bold function and you have to check it in a double curly brace, hello world. Here you can see this font size font is changed. So you can make use of this. What's those two letters? You can use BF as boldface, and there are a lot of things are there. IT stands for italicized. It's italicized tag, and there are a lot of fonts are there. You can make use of like calligraphic, frac, and sans serif is there. Roman fonts are there. Typewriting fonts are there. You can just change these two letters like calligraphic, Roman faces, RM, and sans font as SF. These are all the fonts you can make use of. This is CR. This is some letter scripting font you can make use. You have to just type in this curly brace. That's enough. And next we move to the radical signs and roots. Radical signs means we already covered that kind of in prior. Um, we came across just a square root. SQRT. You have to start with the slash. In SQRT, expect something to be there. So square root of x. You can give this square root of x and plus 3. Um, if it is, it's not covering here. The thing is here we have to write this brace so that it's fully covered. And we can just mix it up with fractions, square roots here and there, and then we can write. The square root is like it's kind of a two root. Here sometimes some numbers will appear, right? In case here 4, 5, sometimes x will appear. So that how do we do is we'll give a square brace and we'll give x. There is an x. Here you will get x plus 1. All will come here. Okay. You can give it as in the fraction. I'll combine it with the fraction. I'll just write square root of 3, and as a fraction, in fraction you have to type x and y. This kind of formulas you may have seen in your books. Okay, now this finishes the radicals and next is special functions. Special functions, you know, this kind of limits will be there. Limit x tends to or 0 tends to, like that kind of limits will be there. So we have to write those kind of functions. Those are all called special functions. Here this thing. For special functions, there's the same, but you no need to think of much. You have to just use those functions as lim. The special function will appear. So limit is like you have to use limit. You know the limit for format, I think. Limit subscripts will be there. So the limit subscripts of, you have to use one limit as x tends to 0, like x. I'll write as 2 for arrow and 0. This kind of symbols you can use as a subscripts itself. You don't need to use as an arrow markup. This is similar. Similarly, you can use sine functions as sine x, not sinusoidal functions as sine x. You can use space. So this gives a standard and non-standard function as a special functions. You can use max, min, or you can use ln function like ln. These kind of things. These are all our built-in special functions in MathJax. So then next is special symbols. Special symbols, you know this. Some of them are in keyboard, some of them will be not. Like greater than, less than, and this kind of divide, this kind of x mark, and subset, superset, belongs to, not belongs to. Those kind of symbols are called special symbols and notations. There are a lot of special symbols are there. I'll just type some of them. First set of special symbols are like equality based. Equality based, these are all the equality based, like greater than, like it's literally LT. First is LT, less than L and T. For greater than, GT. LE means less than or equal to for this symbol, this one. And for greater than and equal, the next one. And not equal to is, you know, this not equal, that's strike out. You can use not or not in front of anything. You can just use slash not. This less than symbol will be striked out. You can use just adding slash not and slash LT. Next is like division symbols, mathematical symbols. You can use times. This is for multiplication, division, and plus or minus or plus. This is literally denoted by slash times, and this division symbol is nothing but the div. PM means plus or minus or plus. That's it. Next is set symbols. Set symbols you hardly use in programming, but mathematically you'll use it many times. Hope you can see this cup symbol and this a cap symbol. Cup and cap and set minus is there, so can use set minus, and you are aware of this is a subset, and this subset equal and this subset not equal, subset n equal, and this is superset. Then this e is like belongs to is nothing but in, and this is not in. I told you earlier this not is like uh, striked out, and this is empty set, like null set, and the var nothing. It's a straightforward, and this is all for using the sets in mathematics. Next is choosing is, we know this, we'll have this kind of symbols. There is a big space, a big round space, and here we'll write n plus 1, and here 2k we'll have. How do we achieve this one in MathJax is, you can use n plus 1, or you can use choose or binomial. This is kind of a binomial formula, so you can use that one, or you can directly use choose also. N plus 1, so, and then choose. The second part is like 2k. Here we'll achieve the choose. And next is arrows. We know here and there arrows will go. We'll write arrows like this, or we'll write two arrows like this. So how do we do that in MathJax? Is straightforward. You have to remember is right and left. That's it. Uh, this is two. It's like first one. It's tends to for two you'll use, or else you can use left arrow. That's literally same, and right arrow, left arrow, you know that. And if you just capitalize the first one, it will change to the two arrows, up arrow and down arrow. Then this symbol is maps to, this kind of arrow is maps to, and you know this one implies, and double implies, double side, if and if. You just type iff, and this is implies. And next is arithmetic. Next is logical. Logical stands for the and or not, those kind of things. For those logical, you can just use L, and you can start to use and or not, and you know this one as for all, and top bottom you can use exist, and this is top bottom, and v dash, and this dash, double dash. Okay, this logical you can use. And next is like stars, or some special, like stars will come, or asterisk will symbols, or round plus will come. For those you can write star as an explicit star, and asterisk ast, o plus this round, and z plus, circle is no circle, and bullet is like colored. Next is approximation. You can use approximation symbols like tilde symbol and equal, those things. Here this is approximation, and this is similar, and similar equals, and this is congruence, and this is equivalent, and procedure, and LSD. LSD you can change it to even RST. That's this triangle will be in the left hand or right hand side. Next you can use some, I told you that infinity infty, and you can use some Hebrew letters like aleph, and you can make a subscript le, and subscript as 0 in some temperatures denotation. You can write this, and many times you will use the partial equations like slash partial we'll use this one. Let me just write this one, partial x, and you can use as a fraction, frac partial x and partial y, which is equals, you can give x plus y. These kind of formulas, you know, in the PDEs, partial differential equations, you can use this differentials like this. This as partial slash partial. Next is modular. Mod is like you can use the same name. There is no much difference in mod. You can just give a mod. Mod will appear. That's it. You can use a p mod or b mod. That's up to you. Here you can change p mod and b mod. That space will changes. That's it. And sometimes you have seen this kind of a dot a1 dot a2 dot a3 dot like that. Yeah, there's you can use a1 plus a2 plus, and then three dots will be there. You can use like dots plus a subscript n. These kind of equations you will follow. Okay, these dots you can use by slash dots. If you don't know any of these symbols, you can go and use this Didactify. Didactify is like you can write some write using mouse cursor. It will detect that. You can make use of it. For example, I'm writing infinity here, and you can, it will load and it will gives you what's name it is. Here I have infinity. You just copy this and you can paste this, and you can see there is an infinity symbol. So this is a, you can utilize this Didactify by Labs, or you can note this URL. Okay, let me move on to the next session. Special symbols are over. Next is spaces. We already told that for our writing hello world itself that space will not come. So what you need to do is you have to just specify one space. So there is a slash which literally stands for one space. In order to give much more spaces, you can give quad or QQ quad for larger spaces. Like quad, you can see some width of the space is extended, and you can use Q quad, still more space it will come. This, and you can, there are some more symbols like you can give semicolon, the space, and you can notice some extra spaces there. And you can use comma also, that space is shrinking, so you can use comma or semicolon or just nothing, or q quad, qq quad, anything. This covers the space. And you can use set plain text tag. You can use this text, whatever it's there, it will come. You can type hello, how are you, directly in this code that's identified as a text, and whatever you type, it will come here. Okay, and next is accents and diacritical marks. Accents and diacritical marks are like sometimes in X you could have seen this. Let me erase this all. Okay, all of them are erased. um, Diacritical marks are like sometimes X is there, and over this there will be a cap, and above the X there will be arrow sometimes, and sometimes there will be a mark like a dot above the arrow, or sometimes there will be a double arrow mark um, on the X. These kind of called diacritical marks or accents. So what you need to do is you have to type over the lines or d dots. You can give first is hat. You can give a hat. You can give x. There is a hat. There is a hat came, and you can give even overline. Overline. First we'll give bar. There is a bar appeared in the x, and you can give as a vector. Vec. There is a vector x, y, and you can give over the left arrow and over the right arrow. You can give for a larger one. That will be treated as x, y, z, for example, but it will not be extended to that much, but there will be up to some limit. Okay, you can use over the right arrow, over the left arrow, and the over right left arrow. You can double side if you want, it will come. Single side if you want, it will come. And for this one, if you want, expect a dot where the x is like dot. There is a dot above this x. Okay, this is like a diacritical marks and accents. And the next is escapes. Escapes is we are writing this kind of dollars or this braces, curly braces, or some hash. This kind of things we are using. But in order to escape this, you can give that as for example, I need a dollar inside of this, so I'll give slash dollar. So you can give slash and that dollar will be there. This will be not considered as part of this one. This will be escaped. So you can give straight away slash, and you can give this braces, and these kind of braces will immediately appear with this help of this slash. Similarly, it's applicable for the up arrow or and so on. The up arrow is a different meaning. You can use subscripts. There are a lot of things will works with this slash itself. Okay, there use of backslash is there, and like slash backslash is there, and set minus is there. Those backslash will come, set minus will come for binary operations, and the new line is there because of slash slash. Okay, let me conclude this one. This is a basic introduction of MathJax. I hope I covered all these 15 things in this content itself, and we will meet in the next video for advanced content. Thank you so much.